The question that's on every artist's mind at some point, especially in more recent times of social media, is how do I find my art style? In fact, it's the most asked question I get next to what brushes do you use? It's the kind of question that can feel both exciting and overwhelming at the same time. Like there's some secret formula you haven't discovered yet and all of the other artists around you are just gatekeeping. But the truth is, your art style isn't something you find. It's something already inside of you, whether you know it or not. It's something you build piece by piece every time you draw. In this video, I want to share 5 practical exercises that can help you uncover your style. Not by forcing it, but by gently exploring what makes your art you. You don't need a fancy plan or $500 pencils. Just curiosity, a sketchbook, and maybe a cup of coffee. So join me once again on a quest to become a better artist while I work on this spooky piece in the background. One of the best ways to understand what you love visually is to study the art that inspires you, but not by blindly copying it. Pick up to 5 artists whose work you absolutely love. It could be painters, illustrators, animators, even concept artists, from any field you like. Focus on the things you'd like to paint, the things you enjoy making art of, not just the things you like in general. For example, I love seeing cute kawaii characters, but I rarely draw them. And now, instead of trying to recreate a copy of their work exactly, do this. Choose one piece from each artist and create a quick sketch inspired by it. But focus on why you're drawn to it. Is it their color choices, their line work, their shape language, the emotion they convey, or the unique characters? Then write a few lines or notes next to each of your sketches. For example, love how they use warm shadows, like the confidence in the messy lines. Hate how flat this feels, I'd add more texture. Analytically approaching each piece this way can help you stop copying and better understanding what you like and why you like it. You're analyzing, you're teaching your eye to recognize what makes your heart light up. That's the beginning of your art style. The things you love enough to borrow and expand upon in your own way. You're learning to see what fits and what doesn't. Exercise number 2 is to try the 30-minute sketch. This one's very simple but very powerful. Pick a subject, anything you like. Portrait, a cat, a cup of coffee. A scene from memory. And now give yourself exactly 30 minutes to draw it your way. Why 30 minutes, you might ask? Well, it's because it's short enough to keep you from overthinking, but long enough to explore. The trick is you're not allowed to erase. You're not allowed to overfix things, you have to live with your decisions, your lines, your shapes, your colors. If it makes it easier, do it with a non-erasable pen on a paper. When you're done, look at it and ask, what feels natural about this? What feels awkward? What could I improve upon if I had 30 more minutes? What would I change about this if I was redrawing it? All very valuable questions that can teach you a lot about yourself. This exercise helps you catch and follow your instincts. You'll start to see little patterns, the way you draw eyes, the kind of colors you reach for, the thickness of your line. Those instincts are the raw material of your art style. It's not about perfection, it's about noticing what your hand does when your brain gets out of the way. Exercise 3 is to collect a visual mood board. This one's less about drawing and more about collecting inspiration and reference. Create a mood board, either physically or digitally. I often use Pinterest, but lately it's been flooded with AI art, so browsing takes a lot longer than it used to. In any case, fill it with anything that visually speaks to you. Not just art, but photos, textures, movie stills, color palettes, fashion, architecture, even old packaging design. Once you have around 50 images, step back and look for patterns. Are there certain colors that keep appearing? Do you prefer soft lighting or dramatic contrast? Is there a mood, cozy, dark, whimsical, that repeats over and over again? These are the invisible threads that run through your creative taste. And your style often lives right there, between the things you're drawn to but can't explain why. Because style isn't just how your art looks, it's how it feels as well. It's the atmosphere your work creates, and that comes from the things you naturally love. So if you want your art to feel more like you, surround yourselves with the visuals that make you feel something, even if you don't know why. Exercise number 4 is the merge experiment. This one's fun and a little chaotic, but it teaches you how your voice forms through experimentation. For example, you can take 2 completely different art influences and try to merge them into one. The color palette of Studio Ghibli and the line work of classic comics. Or the softness of watercolors and the boldness of graphic shapes. The simplicity of children's books illustrations and the realism of portrait art. Pick something unexpected, maybe even a bit weird. The goal isn't to make something pretty, it's to discover new combinations that feel alive. When you try to blend 2 styles, you notice what naturally feels like you and what feels off. Maybe you'll love the color mixing but hate the outlines. Maybe you'll discover a texture trick that you end up using forever. Every experiment gives you a new piece of the puzzle for your own visual language. And remember, even when something fails, that's progress, because now you know what doesn't belong in your art style and what you honestly dislike. Exercise number 5 is the 7-day theme challenge, or you can use Inktober if you prefer. For 7 days, pick a theme, something simple and flexible, like cats and tea or dreamy landscapes. Then every day for a week, make one piece around that theme. It can be a sketch, a doodle, or a finished illustration, whatever your energy allows for the day. The magic of this challenge is that it creates consistency within variety. You're drawing similar subject, but each day your choices shift slightly. Your colors, your lines, your focus. By the end of the week, look at all 7 pieces together. You'll start to see patterns. Maybe you always lean toward cool colors, or your characters always have slightly tilted heads, or you're just obsessed with texture. Those are the little signatures of your art style emerging. And because you've created them through play and repetition and not pressure, they'll feel real, not imitated. But it's also important to talk about that finding your art style is not about locking yourself into a box. It's not a destination, it's a process of becoming. Style is something ever evolving and always moving with you. As you change and grow, your art style will change as well. You'll absorb new influences, fall in love with new mediums, and let go of old habits. And that's not inconsistency, that's growth. So don't try to find your style in a single drawing. You'll find it in the hundreds of small decisions you make over time. Take your time, draw often, and let curiosity guide you. The more you draw like yourself, even if you're not sure what that means yet, the closer you'll get. And maybe one day someone will look at your art and say, "I knew this was yours the moment I saw it." And you'll realize your style found you while you were busy enjoying the process. Let me know in the comments if you tried any of these exercises. Remember, you can take it slow and there's no deadline. No right or wrong way to discover your voice. Just time, exploration, and a willingness to draw and create. Because that's where your style is hiding, in the little imperfections that make your art feel like you. Thanks for sticking around, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.